It's day 20 of the 25 most notable bourbons of 2022.
Getting harder and harder, but here we go.
Hit one, Chad. No, that's actually pretty much split. Boop.
It's gonna be this one. Oh, hello there. Welcome on in. Come on in.
Welcome on in.
Welcome on in.
They're already in. They already clicked into it.
Stay on in. Let's smell it.
This is giving me very classic. Caramel, brown sugar, a little bit of oak, a little bit of like a lightly berry note.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a fruit in there, a little orange.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Dash of spice, a little bit of syrup, honey, maybe some tea, a little herbal. Yeah. I don't know. It's got a little bit of everything.
A little bit.
But it's all playing well together.
It is. Yeah, it's a decent nose.
It's pleasant.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't know what else to say about it, except to your health.
No, I think a little more age comes through on the palate.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say. It's hard to pin it down exactly.
Definitely get more barrel influence on the palate than the nose.
Yeah, there's more, and on the finish, it's like that oak kind of sticks around, but it's not prevalent. It's kind of sitting on the back half of your tongue, like on the sides.
I think that's where it
goes. Just
goes.
Chilling.
More classic is on the finish. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a puzzle.
It is.
Up front, I'm like, what is this? Because I don't know. What do you think?
It's good, but there's not a whole lot to dissect and talk about. It's just, you ever had a good bourbon? This is it, you know?
It's like eluding me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very elusive. Every time I'm almost onto a flavor note, it's like, oh, but now over here. Nope, look over there.
Yeah, now I'm getting a little bit of grape in there. A little bit of grape.
I know, like that berry grape note comes up, but then I get more focus on the oak, but then I get more focus on like the syrupy sweet.
Try to pin down the zestiness. Is it orange? Is it lemon?
But before you can even drill down on that, it's like, oh, look over here.
Yeah.
No, look over here.
It's very distracting.
Very distracting. I mean, it's nice, it's fun, but I'm having trouble like verbalizing
concentrating
what's happening. I will say, I keep going back to it because I keep being like, what is this? What's happening?
It's a little cocktail-ish also.
It is a little cocktailish. I think that kind of that brown sugar, that orange and berry.
Yep. It's
feeling, and there's that like toasty oak, almost like the glass was smoked.
And almost some bitters.
Yeah. It leads me down the path of like, is this finished and or blended finish?
That's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah, does it have a finished aspect? I guess we should just pause and tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get our glassware, our hoodies and t-shirts, long sleeves included, hats and bottle cut candles and more. That's always coming soon at whiskyambitions.com.
And you can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as, that's right, $1 a month. And that's where you get after the episode exclusives and additional content, but also, and more importantly, barrel picks. And, extra time with us.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing.
Okay, any predictions?
I mean, I feel like our guess is like 8 times now, but I've narrowed it down to 2.
I'm thinking maybe Barrel Vantage.
Okay,
which I've only guessed that once before.
I think it's the Barrel Vantage, but the Barrel Vantage has some Tennessee blended into it, and I will say nothing about this is saying
Tennessee,
that to me.
Yeah, Tennessee tickle.
No.
Well, I guess we should just find out.
Are we right? Are we wrong? Have you been laughing at us?
We have been drinking. Whoa.
So wrong. So very wrong.
Wild Turkey, Master's Keep, Unforgotten.
Which is? Tell me more.
We've had a couple in this 25 that have sort of skirted the technical bourbon. I guess you can say that about any finished thing, right? But this is a bourbon and rye combination, and then it's finished and used rye barrels. So it is more of a boo rye, right? Finished in a rye, finished in a used barrel, which automatically, So it's an American whiskey. Did this belong
in the rye category? It is an American whiskey.
We actually talked about putting this in the rye section, but I think ultimately we decided because Master's Keep has historically been in this category, we decided to leave it in this category. Now we could also double it up and put it in the rye and see how it does when we're thinking.
Should.
Yeah, I think maybe we should. Because I don't feel like it fared the best here in the bourbon category, just going off of our comments.
Because I think it stands out.
We were in that bourbon, 25 best bourbons. We were more in that bourbon mindset, and this is not a by the book, but also what we were thinking it was, the Barrel Vantage, which one day
is
will
wild.
come up, is also.
I hate to guess it every
time. It's a finished thing.
When it does come up, I won't guess it because I'll be afraid to be wrong for like the 6th time.
If that ends up being like day 25, I'm just gonna
laugh. I don't know. I can hear people out there right now being like, "Stop making excuses for it. You know, don't put it in the ryes."
Why do you all sound like little cartoon mice?
I don't know.
Cinderella. What? Quit trying to dress me, mice and birds.
Gus. I feel like people are gonna be like, "Don't put it in the ryes just because you feel like you have to." And honestly, like, I don't. I had tasted this once before we put it in here, and so I'm extremely unfamiliar with it. Another one that I'm unfamiliar with. But I do think, hindsight, I get the reasoning why we put it in here. We have put past Master's Keeps in here. It has the accolades or whatever. People want to know the pedigree. How does it do compared to some of these other Ellies? And so I get that.
Yeah.
However, it is more of a rye, and this is the first year we've broken out the ryes because there were so many. I do feel like because it's a blend of bourbon and rye and then finished in a rye barrel, I think it belongs with the ryes.
I think it does too. And I think that, that's the one thing about like when you are talking about spirits competitions, they break things out in the categories, even like, like a range of proof or like a finished or not finished or, all this type of stuff. Now they always have a best overall, and that's kind of how we have been treating our 25, best of is best overall, the kind of that category. But I definitely think having that, at least that mindset of, I'm judging all bottled and bonds, or I'm judging 90 to 100 proofs, or I'm judging craft, or I'm judging whatever it is, tempers expectations, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it sounds like we're making excuses.
It does sound like
it does, doesn't it?
I'm like, we should stop digging this hole, because you know what?
Well,
at the end of the day, who are you making excuses for, Chad? This is your channel.
It's truthful. However, I can't not deny the fact that it sounds like we're making excuses.
Do you know the thing where they say, like, you can tell someone's lying by how much of an explanation that they give and details? Yes. So the more that you explain, I feel like the more it feels.
So here's the thing. I had some spicy chicken earlier today, and then
at about 2 o'clock at 2:05.
I remember because I was driving down I-75, and
anyways, whatever.
It is what it is.
Either way, wherever this ends up, I will say, like, I found it to be nice and pleasant and tasty. I think it's going to be more middle of the pack in the overall category.
Because we're not just talking about LEs, which this is a limited edition from Wild Turkey, but we're also talking about the best, and that could be anything. But as far as like LEs go, I feel like the choice from Wild Turkey, LE-wise, if you could only pick one, would be the Russell's Reserve 13 from 2022.
Yes.
Maybe not the Master's Keep.
And
that's also why we do this.
In past years of Master's Keep, I'm taking that Cornerstone Rye.
Oh, yeah. Now that was... Well, that's where we gotta leave it.
We have to.
If you haven't subscribed to us already, please do. You can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
All right, we will see you all tomorrow. Until then, drink more bourbon.